Welcome to a Fifth of Jack Gaming, where today we're trying a little bit of a new segment, which we're going to be diving into next week's comics. As I say, we're going to be diving on in over to there, seeing what's coming out next week. That way, we can end up having a game plan of what you're going to pick up. Also, I want to be saying that this segment is also with information based off and helping out with it from leagueofcomicgeeks.com. They ended up helping us out, be able to show you what's coming out next week. Well, possibly coming out next week, because there's delays, stuff like that. You never totally know what's for sure coming out. But with that said, let's dive in and see what's coming out next week and hit some highlights of some of the books. All right, at the leagueofcomicgeeks.com, we're covering over and we're jumping on into these issues. Looks like we have Saga number 58 coming out next week at a game price of $2.99. Now, it's also important to say this is the week of April 27th of 2022. Just in case, for some weird reason, you're watching the video from a farther thing and you're like, well, these books are already out and everything. Well, that's because this is an advance to be able to see and try playing it out for next week. Looks like we also got Detective Comics coming out, issue number 1059 for $4.99. Death of the Justice League. I've heard that's pretty good. Well, some people are looking forward to that. That's issue number 75 for $5.99 cover price. Action Superman. Thor, the Cage Action, which is another good title that comes out. That's Thor number 24 for $8.99. Holy smokes. And then Dark Knights of Steel, issue number 6 for $3.99. Another big title coming over from Big O Taylor over there. Definitely a good old grab for it. Spider-Man comes back out with a new staff coming out with Wells writing and Romana Jr. doing the art for it. Returning coming on back. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 1 for $5.99. Berserker is a book that's being worked with Keanu Reeves. It's a solid little thing and keeps on making it up in the top for our poll that's going over, and that's you should be checking out on Sunday to see what we end up picking up and possibly what the top comics are. Well, at least our thought from it. That's from Boom Studios for $3.99. Something is Killing the Children is another popular title. It's issue number 22 for $3.99. Last Ronin's finally wrapping up. That's a comic that keeps on taking forever to come over with it. But that's from IDW. That's Last Ronin number 5 for $8.99. New Punisher. Batman Beyond the White Knight. Interesting. Deathstroke, which is playing a role into the Shadow War. I believe it's going to be Deathstroke, Batman, and Robin is going to end up playing a role into that. Carnage is another symbiote title. This is issue number 2 for $3.99. Really excited about that. Also with Sabretooth, I'm super excited as well as with that. Find out what is happening under Krakoa, where he's ended up being locked in and everything. It's an interesting little premise. This is issue number 3 for $3.99. Rogues, issue number 2. So this is a black label. And it's one of those little bigger books. And if you end up watching our videos of our weekly poll, this actually took a top spot the week that the issue number 1 came out. It's kind of a shocking little story. It's kind of a little bit under the radar. The cover price on that bad boy is $6.99. From Dark Horse Comics, we ended up having the latest thing from Scott Snyder. Is We Have Demons number 2 for $4.99. We keep on cruising right on through. Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 2 comes out. It's $3.99 cover price. Missed on cover or issue number 1. I gotta try picking that up, trying to find that. It's very interesting. Oh, and talk about interesting, Cowboy Bebop, the show that got canceled, it looks like they had a comic book series coming from Titan Books for $3.99 for issue number 3. That's a little bit interesting. Heavy Metal, that's another adult comic / magazine. That's another one of those bigger book styles. That has a cover price of $13.99. It's issue 316. Usagi Jimbo, Lone Go and Kid, issue number 4 for $3.99. I bet you Ami Buddy's pretty excited about that. Wonder which cover he's going to get of that. Looks like we got a few covers that's not there. Doctor Who, another little popular show. Comic from Titan Books as well. Doctor Who comic special 2022, issue number 1 for $7.99. Talking about popularity, there's Rick and Morty, Affinity Hour, number 2 for $3.99 from Oni Press. And this is something unique. You got 2 issues coming out from Comic Tribe of Happy Hill, issue number 3 and issue number 4. Either issue is $4.99 a piece. We got some obscure titles. And holy smokes, it looks like they finish off with Zenoscope, Oz Annual, Dominion of Oz, number 2 for $7.99. So it looks like they end up having a whole lot of lists that comes over with it. So that's why I kind of liking the site and everything. And actually reached out over to them to make sure that we can end up using their content and bring it over and mash it with us as well. Is there a certain title that you're interested into? Put it down in the comments down below. If you got any suggestions for this entire little segment, also put Slapper down in the comments down below. It looks like the League of Comic Geeks.com also has it where you can end up getting a pull list if you don't have a local comic book shop. It's a nice little way to be able to make sure you end up getting your comics. Kind of wish I had that when I was a little bit younger. I remember having a struggle trying to find books. Any book that looks super fantastic that you're looking forward to picking up, let us know down in the comments down below. Thank LeagueofComicGeeks.com for allowing us to use their site as a reference and everything for the comics that are coming up next week. If you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified about any of our other future content. So obviously we're diving into the current comic books. We're going to be trying to do this every Thursday, trying to give you a little heads up for the next week's comics. We have this segment and then the segment that comes out every Sunday of what we ended up picking up in our poll. And then we do a little rankings with that. So we have a little current. Then we also have comic book hauls that we end up picking up. We cover Amis. We're going to be covering some books that we end up actually reading and giving some highlights from those books. Then on a different end of the spectrum, we cover some gamings with Marvel Strike Force, Magic the Gathering Arena, and then we also cover Magic the Gathering itself with pack openings, deck techs, and pretty much anything else in between. Like I said, if that's something that interests you, hit that little subscribe button and hit that little bell to be notified about any of our future content. Again, thank you for League of Comic Geeks.com to be able to hook us up with a nice little handy dandy reference. We're also going to have a link down in the description down below, sending you right over to the site. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.